Hey, what's up, guys? If you are seeing this, you almost certainly got here because of my blog, or you're watching via the blog. If for some reason you're not, go check out my blog. I will put a link somewhere below. I don't know, I'm pretty new to the whole uploading YouTube videos thing, to the point where I thought this would be a fun thing to do to break up the blog a little bit, and because last weekend was kind of a big weekend. But I can see why people just write blogs, or at least don't want to do YouTube videos, because this has been a lot of work, kind of a pain in the ass. So anyway, if you are a non-blog reader, welcome to the first video. Go check out the blog. If you are a blog reader, I believe this is the first time you've ever seen my face. So this is what a slow guy who runs in Philadelphia looks like. Thank you for checking out the video. Last weekend was kind of a big weekend for the whole running blog journey thing. We hit 72, 71, something like that, days straight for the 500-day challenge of running 5K every day or more. And beyond that, part of the spirit of the blog is to talk about great things in Philadelphia, and I had a chance to do both a special run and experience one of the great things about Philadelphia, so I thought I would share that with you guys in a special way via this video. So last weekend, 2 days ago, was the BroadStreet run in Philadelphia, and if you're unfamiliar, it is, I believe, the largest 10-mile race in the United States. Which is kind of a weird distinction to have, because there's just not that many 10-mile races. Obviously, there's a million 10Ks and a million half marathons, yada yada, but 10 miles is just a strange distance. But in Philly, we get, I believe, I'll double check the numbers, it's tens, if not 20s, if not 30,000s of people. So there's a ton of people, and BroadStreet just runs straight down the heart of the city. So you go to one end and then you just run 10 miles in a straight line. My little Nike Run app, it's funny, it's just like a straight eye. But the atmosphere of the race is always amazing. For the last few years, it's been like tradition that the weather is incredibly cold and rainy, and it's just blah, and it just has not dampened the amount of people that come out for cheering and support. One of my favorite things to do in these races is just find your favorite signs. People come up with some really creative stuff, and just the energy there. I always am listening, at least in part on my runs, to music or podcasts or something. But with BroadStreet, there was none of that. You just enjoy, just soak up the atmosphere. You listen to people cheering, and like the school bands that are out playing, and the church choirs that are sitting on the steps and singing, and it's just amazing. And you hear Rocky music half a dozen times from somebody blaring it, but every time, it's a little eye-rolly, but you're in the middle of you're mile 7, and you don't really care, because you're just happy with the atmosphere. So that is an amazing thing that Philly does, and it really brings out the Philly spirit. People get stuck on there's certainly, Philly gets a certain reputation for having a fuck you vibe, and there's no question that's a real thing, but there's also a real sense of community in the city, and it's just a bunch of neighborhoods that hang out. And so yeah, the BroadStreet run is a great example of that. A couple of things. Well, so the run itself, a buddy of mine, the only reason I got into the run is because a buddy of mine's wife unfortunately had an injury, so I got to take his bib. And I was scheduled to do a little bit longer than 10 miles, so I decided I'm just going to run to the start line from my house, because we live not far off of Broad. But I miscalculated it. I thought it was like a 3-mile run. It ended up being closer to 4.5. So all of a sudden, I'm supposed to meet him at 7:10 for a 7:30 race start time, and I just wasn't paying attention. And all of a sudden, I realized, I have like 2 miles to go, and I'm supposed to meet him now-ish. So what was supposed to be like a nice casual 3-mile run turned into a little bit of a wind sprint 4.25 mile tense just sprint to the finish, or to the start line. But we met up with him. Brian, if you ever see this, thank you. I appreciate your patience and the bib. Um, and then unfortunately, I just ran. I shouldn't say unfortunately. The energy of the crowd and just the vibe, I ran faster than I would want to, both to get there and then through the whole thing. If you've read my blog, you know I'm not a very fast runner, but I ended up doing about a 10-minute mile for both the 4 miles before and then the 10 miles there, which again is not blazing for most people, but for me, again, wanting to do 500 straight days of running without a break, I'm always thinking about the next day. I'm always trying to save a little bit for the next day, and I did not. So today's Tuesday. On Monday, I did do a 5K, and it was just trash. My legs were so gassed, but a really fun couple of days. I'll show you guys the finisher medal. This is a pretty good one, actually. And with the boat there, because it finished at the boatyard. I'll tell you what I really love about this, and one thing that Philly gets wrong a lot, is so many races have the Liberty Bell, and people think it's awesome to put like an actual little functioning bell in it, but that's miserable, because then when you're walking away, I never wear mine around my chest because they scratch my neck and it's all sweaty and I don't want to mess up the thing, but it's this ding 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 ding, and it's awful. You'll see on my wall, over here, I've got a bunch of them from over the years, and anytime something shakes that wall, it's just ding 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 ding. So good job on the finisher medal. Yeah, it was a good weekend, and because it was not quite, I ran over half a marathon in total distance, but we're going to call this my first official 10K, because one of the goals for anybody who's not familiar with the blog is over the 500 days, I want to run 10 5Ks, 10 10Ks, 10 halves, 10 marathons, and then probably 5 ultras, because it's a little less than 2 years, so that's a lot of weekends. And this one will be not only our first 10K, because we don't have 10-mile goals, but it will be the first race we've done. So pretty special. I feel pretty good now. It's Tuesday morning. I went to bed like a toddler at like 8 last night. Slept straight through to 6. So 4-mile run today. This coming weekend we've got some chunkier miles, but I'll write about that. And again, props to anybody who does a vlog instead of a blog. I thought this would be cool, but man, this is time intensive. And from little things like, this is actually clean. This is my office, but this was actually clean compared to was, and you can still see, I'm not used to the thing, you can still see like a pile of dirty clothes, and everything is askew over here, and I'm wearing a hat, which I don't normally, because my hair is a full-on mess right now. So yeah, first video, maybe we'll do more. We'll see how this goes, if people like it, and but a great weekend, despite some blah weather. So many cool people out there running, and again, just the energy, the vibe. Philly, you're fantastic. The one downside I'll say is, and there's nothing I can think of that Philly could do to fix this, but there is always getting back from BroadStreet, because again, it's a straight line. It's not a circle. You're not finishing like with the marathon, you start and end near the art museum and stuff. You just start a little too far north and you finish a little too far south. So there's this like stinky, achy walk back to the subway station, which they do a great job. You can just jump right on for free the subway and then ride up back into parts of the city wherever you need to get off. But it's always best case scenario from the time you get through the finishing line to walking back through to the subway, and then getting on the subway, and then getting to your stop, and then getting from the stop to your home. Like it's best case scenario, you're looking at like an hour from the time you finish till the time you actually get a shower. And anybody who's run a race knows in that time, especially cold conditions, that's kind of a miserable hour. So worth it though. Great weekend. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks Philly, and thanks for all the people in Philly for coming out and making it such a great race. I'll be back with more entries soon. They will be blog entries, because writing is way easier than trying to put all this together. But thanks for stopping by, guys. Again, if you're seeing this and you don't know who I am or what I'm doing, check out the link to my blog. And I just talk about the two things that I really love that I think don't get enough love, and that is running in Philly. So yeah, I'm signing off, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Get some runs in, and we'll talk to you soon.